My name's Nicole Osborne. I'm a stand-up comedian, originally from Moline, Illinois. Now I'm in New York City. It's the best city in the world and it has great comedy. And the main thing that I forgot, this is the last time I go to Supercuts, you guys. I have stage 4 breast cancer. And because of that, people don't know how to talk to me. They either think I'm dying right away or they can tell me their deep secrets because I'll die with them. I don't remember the first joke I ever told in my life. I was kind of a pudgy kid, so I was always trying to be funny or else I was just that fat kid. So every time I'd go to a Dwayne Reed to pay for something, at the end of the purchase, they'd be like, "Do you want to donate to Breast Cancer Awareness Month?" And I'd be like, "No, I'm pretty aware." I started doing stand-up comedy because one of my best friends, we went to a comedy show together and she said, "You should be doing this. You'd be really good at this."
I have known Nicole for 10 years. I always tell her I take the credit for her being on stage because when we went to Second City in Chicago, I was like, "You should totally take a class, like it'd be great."
It's Nicole Osborne, everyone!
Once I had cancer, I kind of felt like no holds barred. So I'm gonna do whatever I feel like doing, and I wanted to try it, so I tried it and I loved it. There have been all sorts of disgusting things that happened to me because of my cancer, but I don't share them with everyone. You know why? Because I'm a lady. It's a chance for me to be able to tell about all the stories, all the stupid things people say to me. And she's like, "I had a cyst the size of a cantaloupe taken out of my ovary." So I said, "You are disgusting." I have definitely bombed. I don't know why I've bombed, because I'm awesome. Are you guys listening to me? Can you hear me back there? Okay, that didn't really work. I've bombed with a lot of the jokes that some people find a little too maybe offensive or a little too aggressive. For my process, every time I encounter something that I think could be turned into something funny, I'll go home and I'll write it down and then I'll kind of work from there. And then I also have my comedian friend, Veronica Mosey, who's like a mentor. I'll have her look at it and say, "Do you think this is funny?"
You know, in stand-up, you have a lot of tragedy that can turn into comedy. It's a great tool to use, actually, turn something negative into a positive. But it's really hard to get up on stage. And when you just had chemo a week before, so you're suffering. Yeah, Nicole's story is definitely a unique one.
When I first met her, I wanted to be her because she was just great. And she is great. She's outgoing and vivacious and friendly. So my nurse asked me what my form of birth control is, and I said chemo. And she gave me this look like, "Oh my God, Nicole." And I said, "No, it's not like I have all sorts of unprotected sex with people and expect the chemo to cook off whatever's growing in there." But would it? I'm 36, but can we say like 28? Would you consider donating him to me for the night? Yeah, I mean, think about this. 36, looking for somebody who's maybe like 43, 45, so that I feel young. I honestly do miss dating or finding someone, like making out with someone, touching someone. I mean, that's something that is really difficult right now.
I think a challenge that Nicole can face on stage is that people will feel sorry for her.
I used to be able to have sex with anyone I wanted to because I was really hot. And I didn't because I was afraid of getting an STD because I thought it would make me slightly undesirable. But instead I got cancer, and that's made me completely undesirable. I know.
You're beautiful.
So that's why when she comes out immediately with a line about having gone to get a really bad haircut, to acknowledge the way she looks, the audience has no choice but to get comfortable.
I wish I had been more of a whore. I do think about death sometimes in the context of my family, because I know that it would kill my parents and my brother, and I don't think they'd ever recover from it. So I think about that more than like me dying.
It makes me proud to see her on there, just braving that stage, because I know that average people couldn't do it, and Nicole is not average, and she never will be. So
I'm supposed to be a comedian. It's crazy to me that people complain so much about things in the world, and they're so negative and so, you know, they have a bad day and they just blah, 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 blah. And they can't even find any humor in anything. And here you have a girl who's literally dying. And she's like, well, what am I gonna do? You know what I mean? I'm gonna try to do the best I can with the time I have. And she is killing it. Oh, no pun intended, that was a terrible pun.
I would love to be able to continue doing stand-up as long as I can, and it would be great to become huge. I mean, that would be amazing. I was walking down the street when I was completely bald, and this little girl was having a fit with her dad. She was like, "Daddy, Daddy, I want that doll." But when she saw me, she stopped, and her eyes perked up, and she said, "Where's your hair?" And I said, "It fell out." And she said, "Why?" And I said, "Because I didn't listen to my dad." That's called giving back, right? Giving back.